Good morning，好久没讲了，好久没开讲了。好，那今天我要讲的主题是有关一个名叫 John Brown 的一位美国人，他是在南北战争时期，或者说略早一点的一位废奴主义的激进者。那他当时候就是他会去类似说解救黑奴，就是从那些南方的奴隶主中把那些黑奴救走，然后把他们送到其他安全的地方。当然在这个救的过程中，偶尔或者说不免会使用一些暴力手段，所以说他最后他被法院审判，然后最后被处以，就是被吊死这样。他在吊死之前，就是他在行刑前，他说了一句话，他说：“I, John Brown, am now quite certain that the crimes of this guilty land can never be purged away, but with blood。”对，这算是他的最后的遗言。然后，美国本来有一首歌，我等一下会唱，叫做《John Brown's Body》。这首歌本来是美国的一首爱国歌曲，会 John Brown 是跟就是那位爱国主义，那位提倡废奴的斗士的名字相同，所以大家也就拿这首《John Brown's Body》来纪念那一位被吊死的 John Brown。OK， 好，那我就来先唱一下这首民谣，等一下再来讲，就是今天的主题 John Brown's address to the court after his conviction。OK， 好 ，John Brown's body。John Brown's body lies smoldering in the grave. John Brown's body lies smoldering in the grave. John Brown's body lies smoldering in the grave. His soul's marching on. Glory, glory, hallelujah. Glory, glory, hallelujah. Glory, glory, hallelujah. His soul's marching on. He's going to be a soldier in the army of the Lord. He's going to be a soldier in the army of the Lord. He's going to be a soldier in the army of the Lord. His soul's marching on. John Brown's knapsack is wrapped upon his back. John Brown's knapsack is wrapped upon his back. John Brown's knapsack is wrapped upon his back. His soul's marching on. His pale lambs will meet him on the way. His pale lambs will meet him on the way. His pale lambs will meet him on the way. They go marching on. They will hand Jeff Davis to a sour apple tree. They will hand Jeff Davis to a sour apple tree. They will hand Jeff Davis to a sour apple tree as they go, as they march along. Now 3 rows in cheers for the Union. Now 3 rows in cheers for the Union. Now 3 rows in cheers for the Union as we are marching on. 好，这一首就是那一首美国民谣 John Brown's Body。这一首就是我那时候第一次听到，我就发现，跟我们以前的颁奖曲一模一样，就是哒哒哒哒哒哒哒哒哒哒哒哒，对，所以就蛮特别的。 搞不好我们的颁奖曲就是源自这一首。好，那接下来就进入正题了。John Brown's address to the court after his conviction. I have, may it please the court, a few words to say. In the first place, I deny everything but what I have all along admitted, the design on my part to free the slaves. I intend certainly to have done the I intend certainly to have made a cleansing of that matter, as I did last winter when I went into Missouri and there took slaves without a snapping of a gun on either side, moved them through the country, and finally left them in Canada. I designed to have done the same thing again on a larger scale. There was I never did intend murder or treason or the destruction of property or to excite or incite slaves to rebellion or make insurrection. 更正，重讲一次好了。I have, may it please the court, a few words to say. In the first place, I deny everything but what I have all along admitted, the design on my part to free the slaves. To free the slaves. To free the slaves. To free the slaves. I intended certainly to have made a cleansing of that matter, as I did last winter when I went into Missouri, and there took slaves without the snapping of a gun on either side, moved them through the country, and finally left them in Canada. I designed to have done the same thing again on a larger scale. That was all I intended. I never did intend murder or treason or a destruction of property, or to excite or incite slaves to rebellion, or to make insurrection. I have another objection, and that is, it is unjust that I should suffer such a penalty. Had I interfered in a manner which I admit, and which I admit has been fairly proved, for I admire the truthfulness and candor of the greater portion of the witnesses who have testified in this case. Had I so interfered in behalf of the rich, the powerful, the intelligent, the so-called great, or in behalf of any of their friends, either father, mother, brother, sister, wife, or children, or any of that class, and suffered and sacrificed what I have in this case, in this interference, it would have been all right, and every man in this court would have deemed it an act worthy of reward rather than punishment. This court acknowledges, as I suppose, the validity of the law of God. I see a book kissed here which I suppose to be the Bible, or at least the New Testament, that teaches me that all things whatsoever I would that men should do to me, I should do even so to them. It teaches me, further, to remember them that are in bonds, as bound with them. I endeavor to act up to that instruction. I say I am yet too young to understand that God is any respecter of persons. I believe that to have interfered as I have done, as I have always freely admitted I have done, in behalf of his despised poor was not wrong, but right. Now, if it is deemed necessary that I should forfeit my life for the furtherance of the ends of justice, and mingle my blood further with the blood of my children and with the blood of millions in this slave country whose rights are disregarded by cruel, by wicked, cruel, or unjust enactments. I submit. So let it be done. Let me say one word further. Let me say one word further. I feel entirely satisfied with the treatment I have received on my trial. Considering all the circumstances, it has been more generous than I expected. But I feel no consciousness of guilt. I have stated that from the first, what was my intention and what was not. I never had any design against the life of any person, nor any disposition to commit treason, or excite slaves to rebel, or make any general insurrection. I never encouraged any man to do so, but always discouraged any idea of that kind. Let me say also a word in regard to the statements made by some of those connected with me. I hear it has been stated by some of them that I have induced them to join me, but the contrary is true. I do not say this to injure them, but as regretting their weakness. There is not one of them but joined me of his own accord, and the greater part of them at their own expense. A number of them I never saw, and never had the word of conversation with till the day they came to me, and that was for the purpose I have stated. Now I have done. 好，那这个就是 John Brown 他在得知他被判刑后，他发表的一篇声明，就是对啊，就是他被判刑后他的看法还有他的想法，就如同我刚刚说的那样。OK，那这一篇就到这边了。那大家有兴趣的话，也可以上网打 John Brown，John Brown，一位很有意思的人。美国林肯总统也说他是，美国林肯总统称他是，我看一下哦，称他是误入歧途的狂热者 ，misguided fanatic，misguided fanatic。好，那我看一下，那下回预告，下一篇要讲罗斯福总统的四个自由，四大自由 ，The Four Freedoms。那我们下次见，拜拜。